Yo, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is LionHeartZ, and recently, as in like 2 days ago, I made a video about how I felt like Valve was running out of time to introduce new content into CS2. The game is at a very critical point right now. It's a very tumultuous time within the community, and CS2 really needs to see something bright within the next few weeks to really help with just community sentiment. Whether that's a big update, returning features from CSGO, or big overhauls to the current content within the game. And the response to that video so far has been amazing. Lots of likes, lots of comments, some great constructive criticism down there, thoughts from other players on how they're feeling about the state of the game. But one thing came up over and over again, several comments talking about how none of this matters because every single game I play, I'm dealing with cheaters in competitive and premier. Cheating being at the forefront of most people's minds and the biggest issue Valve need to combat before anything else gets done. And you'll notice that in that video, I didn't mention cheating at all. So today, I want to take a separate time to talk about cheating in Counter-Strike 2, the state of it, what can be done, and why we're in a very interesting position in terms of combating cheating in the modern gaming space. If that sounds interesting to you at all, make sure you guys take a second, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. A lot of you who watch these videos are not in fact subscribed. Every time you do, it helps out immensely in the YouTube algorithm, so if you could do so, that'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure you also check me out on Twitch. I stream every single night, 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Once a week we play Baldur's Gate 3, but every other night we're playing Counter-Strike 2, so come check us out at the link down below. Alright, so first things first, why didn't I bring up cheating at all in my prior video? I was talking about things that Valve need to do right now, the highest priority updates for the game, yet cheating wasn't something I mentioned despite it being this ubiquitous issue. And really that is the crux of it. It's a ubiquitous issue. Cheating never ends, it's never stopped, it's never fully gonna go away. We're gonna be battling cheaters until the heat death of the universe in whatever game we play, so saying, hey, can we take care of more cheaters please, is a given. Valve should always be seeking to have a better anti-cheat, better protection, less cheaters, banning more offenders, taking out more cheat providers. Those things are a given in game development in the modern era, so I didn't bring it up because it should always be happening. It shouldn't need to be said that like, hey, we need to fix this issue because it's the unfixable issue. It can only be mitigated further. Now, all of that isn't to say that Counter-Strike isn't in a unique position in terms of cheaters and the state of the game. Because Counter-Strike is one of the most difficult FPSs ever, it is such a complex game that is very hard to get into and really separates the good from the bad players. Cheating is uniquely, I think, sought after because you can gain such a tangible edge against the competition. You know, you go and play something like a Call of Duty or a Battlefield, and yeah, there's cheaters in that game, but those games are arcadey, they're so casual that oftentimes you really won't even notice if someone's using walls because there are other things already baked into the game that are like just as bad, like insta-kill weapons, operators, kill streaks, stuff like that. Like there's other things that are equal to or can be as cheesy as someone being able to see you through a wall, and oftentimes there are wall hack-like elements built into those games. But Counter-Strike as this pure mechanical experience is uniquely abusable in terms of cheats giving you that distinct advantage, so oftentimes when we're playing these games and someone's just absolutely railing us, it's very easy to be like, man, I think this guy has an edge, he's just dominating me. Like, how is he doing this? And that also has to do with the fact that Counter-Strike has a unique fog of war when you play this game. There is so much intelligence that you're not aware of what the enemy is seeing at any given time, that the perception sometimes when you get killed makes it appear like the enemy couldn't have done it unless there's something fishy going on. Sometimes you get jiggle peeked and someone just takes your head off and you're like, okay, how did he know I was there? But if you were to look at that angle from a top-down view, what you wouldn't see is them slowly clearing the other angles first and narrowing it down to only where you could be and then jiggle peeking you. You only see the jiggle peek in dead. You didn't see the fog of war aspect of what they were doing prior to that, and that leads you to the conclusion that, okay, he must have saw me through the wall. So that is all to say, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, guys, the majority of your accusations of people cheating are probably wrong. That's just a statistical fact. Not every single player you are playing against can be cheating, or else there would be no players playing the game. They would all be banned. There are ban waves every single day. There are a lot of cheaters just because disproportionate to the population there has to be, but every single time you're like, that guy's bullshit, there is a high likelihood that you missed something that would totally explain why they did what they did. And that's why it's important to watch your demos. We're gonna get into this. I have some good examples to back this up. You guys aren't watching your demos, or else you wouldn't be saying that these people are cheating as much as you do. Alright, so here's an example of what I think is a very suspect clip in isolation. So I'll go ahead and play the clip now, and you tell me guys what you think. Do you think the player who gets killed here could reasonably accuse the person who killed them of cheating in this situation? Looks pretty bad, right? It looks like they just got jiggle peeked on nuke and absolutely destroyed. I mean, in isolation, how'd he know he was there? Those shots are just perfect, just boom, one tap. I would be pissed if this happened to me. But here's the thing, and this is where I do the fancy trick of pulling the rug out from under you. I hit those shots on stream. They were me. Alright, I'm just insane, by the way. And I can tell you my exact thought process for why I peeked the angle the way I did and how I got those kills. And I'm not hacking. At least I'm pretty sure I'm not hacking, unless Clara's been at my computer without me knowing again. So what? In isolation, the clip looks bad. But with context, from my perspective, it's pretty normal. I hit the first one tap, I hear the scout by blue box, I take the peek, I see two people there, I hit the first one tap, I wait, I take the peek again, he's still standing there. That's not a suspect clip at all. But from their perspective, all they see is a brief millisecond where I peek and then bang him out of the map. That's the fog of war. So here's the thing, I'm not trying to say that all of your accusations are baseless or that you guys are always wrong about this stuff. I think a lot of where this comes from is an inherent distrust of the VAC security system over the years. We know there's cheaters, we know that there's been ubiquitous cheaters at points, so inherently people trust Counter-Strike less and less as time goes on. And I think Counter-Strike, as opposed to a lot of other games, is in a unique position because there's external third-party clients that seem to provide a better anti-cheat experience. For years, as you've gone better and better, you'll hear the same thing. At some point you should move to Faceit or you should move to ESEA because these are the better competitive platforms because of their extra security. There's nothing like that in a game like Valorant or Call of Duty or Rainbow Six. There is no third-party client that purports to have a better anti-cheat than what's available in the base game. And that, I think, creates this reciprocal perception that because Faceit and ESEA have these better experiences, you're more likely to have the worst experience in competitive or Premier. Whether that's true or not in actuality, we can't know because we don't always know if someone's cheating or not. It's essentially like a Schrodinger's paradox, right? We don't know what's in the box until we open it. You don't know if someone's cheating until you go back and watch the VOD, or if they start spinning through the air at 1,000 miles an hour. If it's something subtle like them just taking a good shot on you, you can't really know. And that lack of confidence in VAC is justified, and that's what I mean to get around to. I don't believe there are as many cheaters as people purport there to believe. I think that's statistically unlikely. However, I do think the distrust in VAC is warranted from what we understand about the system. So it's on Valve to continue to prove us wrong and improve the VAC system to bring us more in parity with what's available elsewhere. And that puts me in a difficult position as a content creator, actually, because think about it this way, right? Everybody knows what Premier is. They understand what Premier points are. They understand what the Premier ranks are. And that is something that they can themselves always strive for and try and rival alongside myself. So when I make guides or I make VOD reviews or even just make highlights and I make them around what happens in Premier, that's something everybody can relate to. However, not everyone knows about or wants to engage with Faceit as a third-party client. They want to be able just to boot up the game and play. So if I were to say switch to exclusively playing Faceit because I want the guaranteed better experience in terms of anti-cheat and team balance and a bunch of other factors, well now my content isn't necessarily being tailored around Premier because the Premier experience is not the same as the Faceit experience. So what do I do as the content creator? Because Faceit is the better experience for me personally, but it's less marketable. It's less popular within the YouTube algorithm because most people, when they think of Faceit, they think of pros. They're not going to want to watch someone like me. But when I make content around Premiere and it's the Premiere grind and it's me getting better, that's much more relatable. So I don't know what to do. Do I switch to Faceit or do I not? It's something I've had to think about a lot over these last few months. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you guys think that I should switch to Faceit or should I continue to play Premiere? I will do pretty much whatever is best for the channel at the end of the day. And right now it seems to me that playing Premiere is what's best for the future. Hopefully we can just get to the point where Premiere is seen as the better experience over Faceit. It's not that I have a problem with these third-party ladders. It's just that I think compared to other games, we're kind of underselling ourselves. Because when you play Valorant, you play Teamfight Tactics, Rainbow Six, whatever, the pros are playing with the top-ranked players. There's this pipeline from Silver all the way through to Challenger or Top 500 or whatever, where you're going to start seeing pro players. Right now, no pro players really playing Premiere. They're all playing Faceit because that's what they're used to, and that's where they know they have the better experience. So if you're someone who legitimately starts Counter-Strike, you've never played the game before, you grind for like a year, right? You go from like 0 to 10K to 20K or whatever. You climb Premiere all the way to the top. Valve wants that to be an outlet where you could potentially start mingling with the professionals and maybe even have an outlet to the pro community through Premiere. But right now, that outlet isn't there because pros aren't playing Premiere. So Valve need to make Premiere the best game mode it possibly can be for that to be a reality. Anyways, bit of a ramble about cheaters, state of the game. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. And see me later tonight, 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, streaming on twitch.tv/LionHeartZ1337, link down below. And I'll see you soon with another video.